UFC stars are becoming pillow fighters in bizarre new sport and plan to make it part of the Olympics. I suppose it's a lot safer compared to what UFC fighters usually go through when they're in the cage. A new sport is drawing in ex-UFC fighters by the bucketful, and it's not quite the violence-laden spectacle you'd expect. The new sport is professional pillow fighting, and before you close the tab, know this. It's on ESPN. It's for the highest audience rentation numbers on the network apparently. And former UFC heartmen are queuing up to compete in it. There's a conversation Steve Williams has had more times than he can count. He pitches his sport, watches the person's face cycle through confusion, skepticism, and barely concealed laughter, and then once they've actually seen it on the TV, he watches them become a fan on the spot. Williams is the co-founder and the CEO of the Pillow Fight Championship, the PFC, a fully professional combat sports organization, now licensed in 9 countries. A world champion who trains students at his academy, martial arts academy, and an Olympic ambition that somehow doesn't feel entirely far-fetched. The man who built it spent the better part of a decade at WWE. He knows entertainment, and he's convinced he's landed on something that sits in a gap neither the UFC nor Vince McMahon ever thought to fill. We fit squarely between UFC and WWE in our own niche. Competition is 100% real with a truly unique entertainment value. So what are the rules of professional pillow fighting? Matches consist of 3 90-second rounds with a 60-second rest period between each round. Fighters must adhere to a strict code of conduct. Do swing the pillow with full force. Do hold the pillow by its straps with only one hand. Two-handed overhead strikes are prohibited. Don't strike your opponent below the shoulders or use any part of your body, hands, feet, head to hit them. Don't grab your opponent, grab their pillow, push or charge. Don't drop or throw your pillow. Points are awarded by judges and referees based on the technique and impact of headshots. Clean head strikes 1 point. 360-degree spin equals 3 points. Knockdown, 5 points are awarded if a fighter knocks their opponent to the mat. Showmanship, 1 point per round can be awarded for acrobat moves like cartwheels or backflips and invasive dodging. What the fuck? The pillows themselves are with understanding. Not the things your mum fluffs for guests arrive. The PFC's patented combat pillows are constructed from a neon-coloured ripstop nylon originally secured from sailcloth, a material Williams stumbled upon almost by accident during the sport's development, with a special coating that makes the pillow airtight, creating a drum-like surface that cracks like a rip on impact. A single-handed grip is mandatory. The noise, Williams says, is versatile. The noise, the fighter was completely undazed, which is a very valuable feature of our patented pillows and sports. Which fighters are taking part in professional pillow fighting? Fighters, it turns out, are the easy part. It's everyone else Williams has to convince. Whenever I mention professional pillow fighting, I get a wide range of responses, Power says. Almost always the first thought of that comes to mind is women in lingerie. That's not a bad thing. But then I'll bring up our Instagram or our YouTube, show off what we do, and from there we usually have a new fan. C fighters is an easier draw than you might think. Pitching PFC to a former UFC fighter is far easier than pitching a current PFC fighter, Williams explains. Former fighters see it as fun and a way to get back in the ring and stay relevant without getting more headaches, injuries and CTE, and get paid for having the most fun they've ever had in or out the win. And I completely agree with that. 100%, I can see people enjoying this for shits and giggles. Like, they could get paid a good ton of money and they don't have to really do any damage to themselves. Like, it's a win-win in my opinion. And I can see that being a major motivation for them as well. Like, if I was a former WWE wrestler or a UFC fighter, I could see this being like an easy pitch. And you were to come to me and pitch this idea. Like, yeah, I would be skeptical. I would probably laugh in your face about it. But at the same time, if you show me a video of what it looks like, and I'll be like, okay, there's talk, you know, negotiations and whatnot. But I can actually see this being a lot more fun than people might realise. And you don't have to worry about doing any more damage to your body. And I personally see as dynamic played out in spectacular fashion last August, when former UFC veterans Cheick Kongo and Hector Lombard, fighters who between them have faced some of MMA's most dangerous names in sold-out arenas, went toe-to-toe at the ESPN Wide World of Sports complex Walt Disney World in a pillow fight, live on ESPN. The comments on YouTube had a field day. Oh, I bet they did. Wow, I always wanted to see Lombard versus Kongo, and now we get it in pillow fighting, read one reaction. Other wrote, in the era of 98-year-old Mike Tyson losing to a warded up loser, this is the best outcome for retired MMA fighters. This is the PFC's secret weapon. Strip away the tough guy infrastructure, if that's how you pronounce it, of professional combat sports, the blood, the brain damage, the extensive weight of a loss, and what you are left with is people who generally love to compete, finally allowed to show it. The fighters are loose and in a good mood. Their personalities come out as opposed to a rigid UFC mindset where death is possible in every fight, Williams says. Fighters get loose and have fun with each other and the crowd. It's the best unscripted entertainment. It's 100% real, and the things that go down are 100% organic. BKFC fighter Ulay Diaz, who holds the record for the fastest knockout in bare knuckle fighting championship history, competed in the PFC's ESPN show, and per Williams, had an absolute blast and can't wait to fight again. Current PFC world champion Leonardo Paulo Silva has gone further, still incorporating pillow fighting training into his martial arts academy curriculum. And what are the plans for the Olympics? The PFC next major event lands on the 3rd of July in Pennsylvania, taking over a minor league baseball stadium. After that, Williams has his eye on the monthly tournaments, global leagues, and at the furthest point of his ambition, the Olympic Games. For me to admit when I'm wrong, because I am pretty much wrong 99% of the time. Because when I originally saw this, I thought it was a bit of a joke. I thought, what the fuck is this? This can never take off. No one in right mind could see value in this. I read through the article and I learned more about the sport and what it's trying to accomplish, and just how more it's about having fun and letting people let loose in terms of their personalities and not be taken too seriously, but also try to have huge ambitions and become a global event at the same time. As always, please feel free to comment down below on what you think of today's episode, what you think of the topic and whatnot. And until next time, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye for now.